Greetings, members one and all of the Salivation Nation. We are live, and in effect, it is a Sunday night. And you know what that means? That's right. We are in the midst of a potential big reset. This is a very special live stream, and we are watching the markets out of Asia. And it's for weekends like this, really in part why we do these on a Sunday night, because we never know what can potentially happen in terms of the markets. And so we're gonna watch this and see and get an idea of what's going on here. But welcome everybody. Hope you're doing well. We are here. I'll explain all of this as we get situated here before the markets start to open, which they will open up in mere minutes now. Hello, Donald in New Mexico. Good to see you. We've got Mark B, Bama, Triton, XX is here. Good to see you. Silver Sacks. Very good to see you guys. So here's what's going on. I was informed and by some members of the community, several of them actually, about what is going on behind the scenes with the International Monetary Fund and other organizations and agencies. And it is quite fascinating indeed. I posted a video about this much earlier, called is the 17th of October Doomsday for Your Wealth. And this may be related to that. By the way, MNG is here. Hello, how's it going? Good to see you. To see you both. Thank you so much for the super chat. Hope you're doing well. Been a long time. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. Very good. So Mutant Rife has arrived with a buzz on. So appreciate you guys being here. Khan, yes, Multi-Gunman, welcome indeed. So we're gathering some folks here. And essentially, what we're looking at here is what has been published over the weekend by some people and organizations and articles that have talked about this, apparently. And that what this is leading up to is a big reset, potential revaluation of the dollar, among other things. And this all goes back to, as we wait for these markets to open, Libor. Yes, you may remember the scandal with Libor, but this is from Wikipedia here we're looking at. This is going away. And it's going to happen, it's going to go away at the end of 2021. And this is the London Interbank offered rate, an interest rate average calculated from estimates submitted by the leading banks in London. Each bank estimates that it would be charged were it to borrow from other banks. The resulting rate is usually abbreviated to Libor, or Libor Bank, or more officially to the ICE Libor, or the Intercontinental Exchange Libor, which is what that stands for, the ICE index, as we've talked about. It was formerly known as the BBA Libor, but essentially this is going to be ending in 2021, and there's really no surprise as to why this is happening, because we look back here, we can talk about that. First, let's get to the dollar index here, but it's how this has been measured. You've heard me talk about this in multiple videos about the dollar index, which is the strength of the dollar compared to a breadbasket of other currencies held by the IMF. Well, in January 2019, the measure of the yields at which investors are willing to lend U.S. dollar funds to large internationally active banks in a wholesale, unsecured basis over 1 month, 3 month, and 6 month periods. The usage is intended to be similar to how Libor is currently used. So it's an index that will continue and probably won't have a whole lot of change there in that direction. We'll find out and see. But the question is will we see this reset reflected in the precious metals prices when they open up? MNG, thank you so much. Coffee time. I do have coffee here. Thank you for that super chat. Let's take a slurp in MNG's honor. Welcome, guys. Yes, indeed. So this is a little bit different tonight we're looking at this, giving a little bit of background here. But this transition has been talked about since 2017, and it won't take effect until next year. But some are saying that because of the IMF meeting this weekend, and essentially what's been proposed, and I'll talk about that in a future video, is there's a lot going on here. And this is where we get to this particular blog and video by Lynette Zhang. Now, ITM Trading is a precious metals dealer, but she has talked about this. And I watched that whole video trying to catch up with this and learn as much as I can before doing this live stream here to kind of get an idea and a basis. And essentially, because they are dealers, they're obviously pushing precious metals. Now, as you know, I like to keep an even, and sort of an even keel approach to precious metals. I do encourage people to accumulate some, but not to buy out of panic. And this is one of those times as well. And so there's a little bit of double speak in this video, but essentially what this is saying is that she is saying that she's been warning you about the $200 trillion reset of major bank contracts within the next year. And it's now being announced that they are officially resetting over $80 trillion by Monday. And it's called the Big Bang across the media. And how, more importantly, they'll all be telling the name behind it. And as you have the power to do about it, what you can do about it. And the value of money shifts because of these interest rates and everything like that, and how that Libor is using it, and how it's going to be transitioning to a new system, which is held in this white paper, how the transition from Libor to Sofr. And this white paper kind of discusses some of it and how it's been going in there. This is something that was talked about by Michael Held, who is Executive Vice President of the Legal Group of the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, on a luncheon in February of 2019. And, this kind of goes into it. This is a PDF that has been a white paper that's been published on the Bank of International Settlements website. So we'll see how this all plays out towards the end. But, it basically goes down and talks about what's going to happen after Libor and the transition. And, it's going to be something where the complaint was with Libor, there was a scandal, as many of you probably know. And there is obviously some manipulation across all markets in that regard. And this is apparently going to be a better system. And that's the nuts and bolts, in a nutshell, kind of what's going on here. SOFR and Libor is that SOFR is a near risk-free rate because underlying repo transactions are secured by treasuries. Libor was based on an unsecured transaction and was intended to include the price of bank funding risk. So it's going to be something. It's going to be kind of a change, and who knows what's going to happen with that. But as we move ahead here, as we have a minute before the markets open, we want to catch those as they do. She was pulling out different things from this PDF and talking about how this is going to be happening. Apparent that the financial crisis at Libor was being manipulated, and so that gives that premise here, and how all of this is kind of hedging up to what's going to happen. Is there's going to be some sort of a reset taking place at these with the IMF and this big switch for $80 trillion worth of swaps, and with the SOFR coming here. The reset still underpins hundreds of trillions of dollars of assets, such as mortgages on the U.S. and syndicated loans in Asia. So this is going to be happening here, apparently. Close of business on Friday, October the 16th. And we'll see about what the CME, what they're doing, and the maximum loss limit and everything that will occur with that. So, and obviously this is a warning, and how these are all interconnected with the CME, ICE. Jafty Dragon, we got to stop these, posting these, spamming you with all these crabs. I don't know what that is. But yeah, let's kind of keep that to the minimum there, if you don't mind. So anyways, so we'll see what this happens here. Let's get back here where we're at and look at the markets, because the markets have just opened up. And I've kind of brushed through that very quickly. I did want to come on here earlier, but didn't get a chance. But I believe that if this is true, we could see actually devaluation of the precious metal prices, or not a devaluation, but a lowering of the prices. And that's kind of what's happening here. Let's see here. It's 6 o'clock now, so we'll see. Well, they're actually up just slightly, both gold and silver. We'll see how that translates. But we're going to kind of watch these markets as we talk about this a little bit more. But nonetheless, it is concerning and wondering what's going on. Is this something that's going to really happen or not? So I read through all this, watched her video, and then I saw this about the mint. She pulls the mint, and what the Coin World had an article about it, and basically conflates again. And this is what I talked about in today's video, and we'll talk about that in there. About the conflating the silver market with what the U.S. Mint is doing, and if they are making that connection, but that's a very strong and desperate move, I believe, because there's no connection. The U.S. Mint does not know what the silver market does, or has any tie to what the silver market does. So this is going to be very interesting to see. If she's reading into that, then it makes us to be very cautious when approaching this type of thing. But on the chance that there is something going on, because I do believe there's something going on behind the scenes. I believe that's what happens in Jackson Hole when the Federal Reserve meets. There's a lot of stuff that happens behind closed doors that's talked about in private, both globally and nationally. And so with that, we have to keep in mind that change could be coming. And every time the Federal Reserve prints more, and every time our debt increases, well, that people lose faith in our country, and they lose faith in the dollar. There's more likely that the dollar will be losing more faith when that happens, even if other currencies out there are doing the same thing. We're the best of the worst out there, and there's something to be said about being the best of the worst, but that still doesn't make it good, and it could come crashing down in time. But if they don't do something about it. So I believe they are trying something. I think this is maybe one of those things, obviously, and it's for sure the Bank of International Settlements, with that white paper that they posted about it, I think is one example of it. But is a reset coming tonight? Well, even Lynette Zhang said in this video that it may not happen this weekend. It may not happen for quite a while. It may not even happen next year when it's official. So we'll see here what's going on. So, but nonetheless, there is a lot of finagling going on behind the scenes, and it's something to be concerned about, but not alarmed about. In other words, we shouldn't be saying that to go scramble and just buy a bunch of gold and silver and go into debt doing it. I think that would be the most irresponsible thing that someone could do. So it is certainly concerning, and I did post a video about it quite a while about is October 18th, doomsday for your wealth. Well, right now, the markets have opened in Asia, and so far, that's not the case. Gold and silver have not crashed, and they've also not skyrocketed either. Vogus, thank you, my friend. Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. He read that article about this a month ago. That's why I love this channel. Thank you so much. Fiat Destroyer, all the crabs were a raid from International Stacker. Oh, okay, cool. All right, sorry I didn't know that. We love International Stacker here. He's awesome. I'm sorry if I'm missing a lot of your chat comments. I was kind of focused on the subject matter here, but I definitely love to show some support for those of you who stopped by here, so I appreciate it. So yeah, no worries. International Stacker, we love. Hello, if you're still here. International Stacker, welcome. I thought it was some spammer or something like that. So I was like, what's going on here? I didn't know what was going on there. So I apologize for that. But we love International Stacker. He can post whatever he wants here. He's awesome. Hello, Slacker Stacker. Good to see you. Welcome, everybody. So that's the context for this market watch on this Sunday here. And so, but the overall bigger message is kind of tied to $67 silver eagles and what the mint is doing. And see, a lot of this is complex stuff. And we're talking about Libor, about the markets, about what the CME is doing. And, you have to really and I think that's the thing. People can take advantage of ignorance in some of these subjects to make correlations and conflate different aspects of the markets in general and the precious metals markets in particular. So be very, very careful and cautious, because I can tell you for 100% certainty that looking at all this stuff here from this organization, ITM Trading, and again, she did post disclaimers, And there's a disclaimer on this video. You can see it right here. And she said that she could be wrong. And so that's good. I mean, so she's covering herself here, which is good. But at the same time, until you get to that section of the video, really you don't know. And people can act out of haste, and people should not act out of panic. People should not panic in these times, even if it actually does happen. Because if you have 1 ounce of either gold or silver, you're doing well. You're doing better than the vast majority of people out there. And so I would just say to be resilient, be strong, hold on to your precious metals, buy at your convenience when you can afford to do so. So anyways, but yes, indeed. So let's see here. So this is kind of the context of what we've got here going on here. So we'll see. And the thing is maybe some of these connections, connecting the dots with some of these things, maybe she's on to something. Maybe she'll get a Pulitzer Prize for recognizing this, and may be right. But the U.S. Mint tie, I think, is a stretch. And I think people that do that, it's a little bit disingenuous to make that tie, especially for something that I know that I understand completely, and I've actually researched it, and that's what my video was about today, to prove that that does not mean or have any indication as to what the silver market is. Those are numismatic products only that we're talking about here. So, very, very interesting indeed, but there's a lot of things that have happened with the IMF. When the IMF meets, and when the Federal Reserve officials meet, you got to be nervous about what's going to go on, and anything could happen on the outset of those meetings. And so when it's all said and done, we got to do what Gaz Grill says. Just keep on stacking, but stack at your own pace. Stack with your budget in mind, and stack with the knowledge of what precious metals have done for millennia in preservation of wealth, and stack with the understanding that we could see a drop in prices too. In fact, that's kind of my interpretation of this. If she is right here, that we may see prices kind of crash or fall dramatically. Now, gold and silver are both up right now in the markets. They are popping up a little bit here. Silver is 1 cent up a little bit, so barely. And gold is up $1.40. So a little bit of movement, but not much. Platinum and palladium are down. Good to see Barbara Carbone. The Raza Menaza is here. So I appreciate you guys. So that's kind of the outset and what's setting us up for our market watch here this evening. Now I'm going to go back to my regularly scheduled format here, and we're going to kind of touch base. We may go back and read some of these things a little bit, but we are going to check out some of these comments from the comment review here. I'm going to get my boilerplate here and kind of interact with you guys here in the chat. Show some appreciation for those of you guys who stopped by to check it out here. And we'll watch the markets and see if there's any dramatic movements. We may not see any during the course of this live stream. It may come up when the London markets open up, because Libor is out of London. So we'll see what happens here. Silver Steeler is here. A busy day off for him, but he's here. Welcome. Thank you. Silver Wolverine is here. Good to see you indeed. Colonic Stacker, Pinot San, welcome. All right, thank you so much. I love you, Salivate, the family in Charlotte, North Carolina. Hello, EMCC. Thank you so much for being here. MNG was here earlier, too. Different, similar name there, but MNG was great. Appreciate you guys. And Multi-Gun Man, it's been a while. Nothing new here, just kind of plugging away. Been very busy. Hope you're doing well, Multi-Gun Man. Chuck Avery is here. Nothing happening so far, that's right. Some of them go crash, I like it. Me too. It'd be nice if it crashed, but I'm kind of tapped out with my resources right now. That's crazy. But I think that would be one thing that could potentially happen, for sure. All right, so let's get here to some of these comments. I'm not buying much more from the mint either. I for sure will not be buying a $105 silver proof set. Me either. No way. No way, Jose. Thanks, Silver Wolverine. ZZ Guy, yes, those fancy proof sets. The mint can generate more revenue selling ultrasonic products. These collector coins really do serve a purpose, not just for the collector, but for the new coin collector. Grandma buying grandkids' first collector coin. They really do help bring new people to the hobby. Aesthetics is great. These coins make great conversation pieces to introduce people to the metals. They sure do, for sure. But I think those little plastic cases they have for the coins are cheap for the price that they probably charge for them. Lost for words. Thank you so much. Welcome. He's here with a super chat, $3.99 super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Very, very kind of you. Armando from the Vault is here. Hello, Wolf Pup. Thank you. A lot of folks popping in that haven't been here in a while, so welcome, guys. And Pino Sands says, me too, Sal. I had to hold back. The wifey put a stop to that. I understand. All right, very good. Spectacular says, good, but realize that I am canceling your vote with mine. Oh, there you go. All right, there you go. Raid. So Lady Bullion says, oh, thank you so much. Lady Bullion is awesome. Thank you so much to Lady Bullion. You guys should check her out. She is awesome. And sorry I missed International Stacker there earlier. But yes, we love both Lady Bullion and International Stacker and Hubby B as well. Hubby B is another great channel. There's Lady Bullion. Lady Bullion is here. You guys definitely check her out. Give her a subscription. She is a fine member of the community. She is the one that originated the term Sal's Gal. So we love Lady Bullion here. And I'm going to make a pretty, there's one thing, I don't like to delve into conspiracy theories, but I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb on this one. I know this for a fact that I think, and I'm just keep this between you and me because it may affect the markets. We don't want Asia to hear this, but I believe that Hubby B has a big crush on Lady Bullion. I believe that to be true with all my heart. All right, there you go. All right, you heard it here first. Let's see if the markets react to that news. Let's see here. All right, well, silver dropped a cent from that news. Very good, but gold is holding on. So there's not really much activity happening. But, and again, for those of you just joining us, I'm going to get back to the comments here. There has been an article here. Many different sources of information have been researched by ITM Trading, and they're predicting that potentially we could see a big reset that occurred over the past weekend. And so we'll see here. Freedom Stacker, thank you so much for the 99-cent super chat. Somebody here asked me in the chat here how the gig went this Friday. It went very, very well. It was an outdoor gig, so I was pretty freaking cold. Yes, indeed. But thank you. Hands are about to freeze over. Is International Stacker here? You guys should definitely check out International Stacker. Ryan Richmond, how long do you believe the Green New Deal will take to affect the market if a Biden victory? Well, I believe that psychologically, if he were to get a victory, it's going to have an immediate effect. We did see a Trump bump and a Trump crash after he was elected in 2016. Any kind of change is going to have an effect, but I do think you'll see it pretty much right away. And so now, when it actually goes into effect, we'll see as it works its way through the legislative process, depending on who's in charge. If we have a Democrat Congress, then we will see how that plays out. But I believe we'll see the markets and gold and silver go up even more because it's going to be a lot of liquidity and a lot of tax increases to make that happen for sure. So we'll see how that plays out. All right. Mr. Eminem 911 says they can set and reset their prices anytime they like. That's right. Because really, they can't reset the physical. You hold this in your hand. This coin, this silver coin is what it is. And it will be, so very good. All right, yes, indeed. Yep, that's right. I did hear about that Aussie Alchemist. There's going to be a video of that coming soon. I'm not talking about that tonight because I'm going to save that for an actual video because somebody mentioned that to me. And I'm going to definitely talk a little bit about that. Thank you so much. It is creepy indeed. You're exactly right. All right. By the way, good to see Snarly is here from England. Yes, we shall see what happens. Libor will be replaced with something else. And the thing is, it could give more faith in the system, and it could be a crackdown on manipulation that could make the precious metal prices go down. We'll see. If it's a reset that actually provides confidence in the system, well, that means the precious metal prices could actually go down. It could be a good thing. We'll see here. Okay. Very good. Yes, indeed. All right. International Stacker. Okay. He says those crabs were the crustacean nation. Did a crab raid for. Thank you so much. Yes. And now I understand. Somebody explained that to me and I apologize. I actually thought it was, what was happening. I was in the midst of talking about something else here with this reset scenario, and so I saw that and I thought somebody was spamming me from outside the community, but now I get it. Thank you. The Crustacean Nation rocks, and you rock too. Thanks for the crab raid. Now I am hungry for some crab meat and butter. Oh man, I would love to meet International Stacker. He is awesome. You guys check him out. The Crustacean Nation for the Salivation Nation. There he is. We appreciate International Stacker. He is awesome. So I apologize. I didn't understand what was going on there. You're great. All right, very good. All right, back to it here. Let's see. And where are we at? H-Stone39 says this could be a key date-proof eagle too. Well, for the San Francisco one, if there really is a limited mintage of 200,000 of those, it may be for that one. That's true. Although no one would be more key than the 2019 estimate enhanced reverse proof. That is the king of silver eagles up until now. All right, very, very good. All right. There we go. All right, a left side story might have to exit some of his positions in paper silver. Might not be a bad idea. All right, very good. Not the first time I got crabs. That's right, it's all good. Yes, no. Thankfully, I've never had those kind of crabs either. All right. Yes, yeah, the November 5th V75 history will be made. That's for sure. Hunter Biden is more despicable than even Frederick Brandt. Yes, indeed, he is. I must confess for that. His hard drive proves it. His hard drive proves it. Roaming Bob is here. Good to see you. All right, you guys are all great. Thank you. And I apologize if I'm not seeing all of your chat comments here as we go through this. We're watching the markets, talking a little bit about this Libor transition. Libor is going away, and this big reset, this article from Lynette Zhang, a very popular video she posted about it, talking about it, and we're kind of providing a little bit of balanced approach to that. And again, with totally understanding that she has covered herself in terms of saying that this may not happen, and the way in terms of with precious metals, but she believes that the reset is in effect right now. I believe there will be a reset coming. I don't know if it happened over the weekend or the start of it. Which is why this video title has a question mark with it, because we really don't know. She doesn't know, I don't know, and we don't know. And so the main message of this is to just buy as you can precious metals as your budget allows. Never buy for alarming news about a reset or anything of that sort, because and even if it were to happen, it could mean the prices just go down and provide an even greater buying opportunity. We just don't know. There's a lot of stuff in the markets that can occur that we don't know. The complexities of the market is something that's very difficult to predict for sure. Appreciate all you guys watching. We have 238 of you here and 94 thumbs up. And so yes, indeed. All right. Okay, Gary Coover says, does this mean it was stinky gold? Yes, and the stinking gold up your butt? Yes, it probably was stinking for a while, I'm sure. Let's pause now and take a look at the Asian markets. And again, this is looking at what their precious metals are doing as they open up in Asia. Then they'll next open up in London. And those are the numbers that are really going to be interesting to see when they open up in a few hours, for sure. And I won't be on them when that does occur. We have another super chat from, where is that from? I missed that one. Where did it go? Justin Sartain, $5 super chat. Thank you, sir. Yeah, Justin Sartain, thank you. Song Bong Rips for silver. Thank you, Justin. Appreciate that super chat. You're great. All right, very good. There it is. I'm catching up with the chat's going like crazy here. All right, very good. And is Cyber Curtain Twitcher here too? Appreciate him. We got BB is here. Rob B is here. RJ Rand, welcome. Yes, indeed. Thank you, guys. And Audrey is here. Another Sal's gal. A slurp in her honor. A slurp for Barbara too. Let's do deflation, says Silver Wolverine. There could be deflation. You never know. Good morning, Vietnam, says Miles. Hello, Miles. Good to see you. Brent Change. Exciting times indeed. Very interesting. And to see, the thing is here, folks, we have to look at this from the context of how silver is performed, how gold is performed through the course of history as a wealth preservation tools. And I do believe that both of them are. And obviously the volatility of the markets in all markets, including gold and silver, has been paramount over the course of the past months as we dealt with the COVID-19 situation. But even beforehand, we had the Federal Reserve doing these repurchase agreements between these banks. And that was partly talked about in some of these white papers and articles as well here too. But this big reset that she is saying is coming, $80 trillion in derivatives and stuff like that moving over this weekend, $80 trillion in derivatives. So what's that going to mean? What's going to happen there? There's a lot of complexity in these markets here, consumer loans, house mortgages, all that kind of stuff is talked about in this article here. Banks balk at compensation for big bang rate losses. This big bang, with these losses during this reset, there's going to be the wake of this is going to be interesting. SOFR is coming. Trading activity, swaps tied to new benchmarks jump in September, and we can see that here. What does this all mean? This reset, which we'll see SOFR replace the effective federal funds rate in calculations that value swaps as part of a push to make SOFR a standard U.S. reference rate in debt and derivative markets. SOFR is intended to replace dollar Libor, which still underpins hundreds of trillions of dollars in assets such as mortgages in the U.S. and syndicated loans in Asia. But with this thing happening this weekend, and with the meeting and stuff like that, with this thing understanding that this was coming since 2017, it may not be the big thing that people are talking about, because this is about the reset of interest rates and how they're measured and the like. But we'll see here. We'll see how that plays out from here. But when you have things like this in the immediate future, there will be turbulence in pricing. Clearing houses are planning to effectively neutralize the change in swap values caused by the Big Bang, and traders will see their positions automatically adjusted. LCH and CME Group are preparing to distribute compensation from clients whose position values go up to those who see them decline. So, yeah, a lot of stuff happening here behind the scenes. Losses are limited in Libor to SOFR transition. We'll read that momentarily. Let's take a look at the markets here and see how the Asian markets are handling all this. So far, it doesn't look like they have a clue, or they may not be concerned, making a mountain out of a molehill. And it may be that to the nth degree. We have to keep the possibility that might be the case, this big reset. She mentioned in her video that nothing may happen this weekend, and that nothing may happen till 2021 when it actually occurs. We'll see. But that doesn't change it does not change the overall truth of what precious metals are about and what they will be and what they serve to provide as an insurance policy against economic instability. Notice I don't say inflation there. I don't say inflation when it comes to what precious metals do. Why? Because there could be a deflationary period and an inflationary period, a hyperinflationary period. And I believe that they provide protections for both those scenarios and any kind of instability at all in the marketplace. Because what do we see? There's different philosophies of what happens with an economic crash, and that is we could see inflation, deflation, and the stability of gold, especially gold, I believe, is something. And that's one reason why I've transitioned more into gold starting in 2017. All right, I've been chastened here for a slurp for Herb Ash. Here we go. We got a slurp here. And I usually do that during the live streams here. Apologize. It's a little bit more serious than what we usually do here, folks. But we are talking about cautiously approaching these events that occur. I remember we did a Sunday Night Live Market Watch the night that Iran attacked Saudi Arabia with some missiles that took out some of their refining facilities. It turned out to be a pretty big deal that very moment, the markets went up. Gold went up over $1,600 an ounce. That was a big deal back then, which was literally last year. And we watched it. But it turned out that they recovered, and it was a big crisis was averted. But people thought, well, was this the beginning of World War III? Was this the Archduke Ferdinand moment of World War III? Turned out not to be. So that you have to be cautiously approach these things. But understanding that something big could happen and catch us off guard. And so that is the approach I'm taking to this news here. Because we live in a world now where we're literally $27 trillion in debt, and deficit spending going insane. We've got a stock market that really is artificially inflated again right now. I believe between 2000 and late 2016 through 2019, we saw a lot of real market gains. But in 2020, we are seeing the stock market essentially being propped up again by liquidity from the Fed. And so, yes, indeed. All right, Media Man, I like the set of 10 gold QBs of yours. How many would you say are problem-free? There was one or two that had little imperfections. One of them I did a video on to kind of showing that. But most of them are really well done. And it is bullion, technically, so you're going to see that kind of thing with the bullion, but they are mostly great. Yes, indeed, but good question, Media Man. Aussie Alchemist, oil negative 40 a barrel overnight. Same thing could happen with any other asset class. That's true. You're right, Aussie Alchemist. That's very true. And that was a moment that had us concerned with oil going negative like that. But we've had a lot of little anomalies like that that could be game changing. This reset, this announcement of this beginning of the reset or whatever, is tying all these pieces together. And that's what it's about, connecting the dots, either legitimately or not, or without the full knowledge of what happens behind the scenes. And that's the thing we have to take into account when we look at articles like this, especially considering the source. And you have to consider the source for all this stuff, including myself. You know, I am a biased individual. Obviously, I believe in precious metals, but I believe in trying to keep an even, to be realistic about the metals, because I believe they do sell themselves. But I want to get information out there as well. And but I want to provide a source or provide a balanced viewpoint of this information if I can. And it's hard for somebody like me who is not a balanced, say I'm not a balanced individual. Take that I can take that in many different ways. You know, am I insane? I don't know. But what I mean by that is I am a very ideological person. In other words, I have very ideological political views. I have very strong views about what I think morally and everything, especially in association with the nation of the United States and how it was founded and what the foundations for the country are about. I'm very much big into that kind of scenario. So I have an agenda, I have a viewpoint, and that viewpoint often expresses itself in my approach to some of my opinion on some of these matters. But that notwithstanding, I want to be as balanced as I can with the understanding that I am biased. It's very good. All right, Barbara Carbone says I should reset myself. Yeah, I probably should. Yes, indeed. I need to reset myself. All right, Sal, I half a bubble off. I'm half a bubble off. That's right. I need 25 push-ups, California Stacker says. Yes, indeed. I might do those a little later. I think I have a little bit different audience tonight, so I may hold off on that because there's some people that are relatively new here. And so I might revisit those Tuesday perhaps, but yes, indeed. All right, so what we are doing here, as the Media Man says here, we are talking about an article that was pointed out to me by a viewer of the community. I'm not sure which one of us now is Evolution and some others, but this is an article about the Big Bang Reset. It's called the Big Bang Reset, and it was compiled with, I think, some pretty good research by Lynette Zhang from ITM Trading, with the understanding that she is one of the principals at ITM Trading who sells precious metals. So consider the source, but don't discount the information. And I have respect for people like Lynette Zhang and Mike Maloney, Jeff Clark, who do an incredible amount of research that they do in bringing information. However, just because they do a great amount of research and put the information out there, which can be relatively complex, we can talk about complex markets, some of the information they provide, I believe to be true, but some of their conclusions I don't necessarily go along with. And in fact, one thing that Lynette Zhang did, which I appreciate her doing, she says that this may not happen. In other words, this big reset may not happen. No one knows what's going to happen with precious metal prices because of this, even if it does happen or if it doesn't happen. But basically, she's saying that this weekend there's going to be this reset with the Libor that's going to be phased out by 2021. And so that's kind of what we're looking at here. And she references several different articles here, including a white paper from the Bank of International Settlements here. And there's very concerned about what's going on with the Financial Stability Oversight Council and manipulation that's going on here and what has been occurring and with Libor and the scandal that has been occurred and how they're going to be phased out and this reset. And we've often talked about on this channel and other channels about a reset that will eventually be coming. And I believe they've been working behind the scenes to do it before some big economic crisis hits. Because even though we had an economic crisis with COVID, it wasn't like this big crash that we saw with the stock market in 1929 and other things. But she said that we could have something big occur that could snowball into other things. And so I think they're working with some of this stuff. And maybe there's something is happening behind the scenes that we don't know, like what happened with the financial crisis of 2007 and 2008. So the question is Lynette Zane credible? Urbash says. Well, I would say I'm not going to discount her. I'm not going to question her credibility per se, Urbash, but I would maybe question her conclusions to this and other scenarios. Why? Well, look at her motive. Her motive is to try to sell as much gold and silver as possible. And I believe that in some ways, maybe some of the credibility can be questioned because she does reference, even though it's not in this blog, it's in the video. Oh, here it is. This article here, which I have big problems with, tying in and conflating the silver market with the numismatic market of what the U.S. Mint in particular is doing. And so she's making this tie here. This, to me, is a little stain on her credibility. There's other folks out there in the community. Well, I won't say community because I don't think some of them are a part of the community. But there are others making this tie as well. And I think that's disingenuous and dishonest to do that. But I think that she briefly brushed over this and really didn't make much of a conclusion here, but there was really no reason to even bring it up. Like I said, I talked to an actual U.S. Mint official about this. Now, could the U.S. Mint official be lying to me and covering something up? I guess there's always a slim possibility that that's the case, but I don't think I've ever seen anybody make the claim that the United States Mint knows or sets prices for silver in any market. Now, they're setting their numismatic silver product prices, but they're not resetting the silver market in general. That's what today's video was about. So anyways, but all right, very good. Hey, thanks, Matt Langstrat. I appreciate the thumbs up to you guys. We got 124 thumbs up now, 274 watching. You guys are great. Thank you so much for being here. And Cleopatra, just so you guys understand, she is a living, breathing, and bleeding human being who happens to love kitty cats, and I do too. And I very much appreciate Cleopatra being here. Dale Val, appreciate you being here. Lynette Stain, yeah. No, I've not seen that. I can say that with the utmost certainty. Yes, indeed. All right, very good. That's actually pretty funny, Dale, but we don't want to dwell on that right now. All right, very good. So there's where it is. So what are the markets doing right now? That's an update as a reminder from Media Man on that. Now, where are we at here with the market? So far, Asia has been very quiet on this news, if they even are concerned about that news. There is an arbitrage, that they say that what is the difference between the Asian markets and of the East and the West and the like. And that's the kind of thing you wonder about and what have you. If there's that too much of a difference, well, you've got a situation that will be happening there. But so far, they're not reacting. And if they don't react and we see a huge hit one way or the other for precious metals in London, 5 hours from now, then we've got some problems, right? All right. Silver Wolverine, I'm under the impression the U.S. Mint customer service is clueless. Oh, yeah. No, they are clueless, Silver Wolverine. They do not know. I didn't contact I didn't call. When I made my inquiry, for things like this or other things, I don't go to the customer service people. I don't even ask for a supervisor when I call, or I email somebody else. There's a contact there that I've got that I talk to in the press office, um, that can answer my questions. Actually, they take my questions and they say, I'll get back with you with a response, and I'll find them. So I know that they're doing some research for me. In fact, that's how I knew about that's why I was first on the Eagle design submission, because I contacted the men about that. Anyways, but that's another matter. Yeah, you're right, Silver Wolverine. The customer service reps on the phone, they really don't. It's not their job to know. In fact, most of this people don't really know much about coins. All right, Nosematic says I need to call President Trump. I wish I could. I'm not that well connected, surprisingly enough. I'm not that well connected. But I appreciate all you guys being here. We've got Jeff McCarthy is here. Nosmatics is here. Butch Harding is here. Very good. So there's what the market's now. No surprise, no change in what the prices are doing here now. Let's get back to some of these comments here. Chris Rogers says, sounds like they are becoming more and more like Franklin Mint and its overpriced silver back in the day. Yes, indeed, except they are essentially a public entity. They're tied to the government. But you're right, the Franklin Mint stuff was very high in price, very good quality, but very high in price. And you can get them for pennies in the dollar compared to what they were back then. All right, very good. All right. What is the Salivate Metal 6 all about? 6 years. Salivate Metal 6. I'm not sure. I don't know what they're referring to, but good to see you. And Redskins forever. I hate that term, Washington football team. So generic, insane in the membrane. Henry Von Moog. My friend just came by to say hi and mash the thumb up for you. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Henry. I appreciate you being here. Henry Von Moog. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. Very, very good. Thank you so much. Barbara Carbone, here's a slurp in your honor. 2 years of prepping for Jeff McCarthy. Congratulations. Welcome. All right. M. Nice says the ASE higher price is one thing. The proof sets at $105 is downright robbery. They by law must admit American Silver Eagles to demand, but is there a law regarding what they can charge the public? I don't think there is, especially since it's the second price increase this year. It's absolutely insane. But the market will work itself out, and people won't be buying those things. Well, maybe, or maybe they will. I don't know. I know I'm not going to be. All right. Sal, you can walk over to Trump's house if you need to talk. Yeah, there you go. Just walk on down to Pennsylvania Avenue. Come on, take me higher and higher. Carbone and Sal. Not Sarbone and Cal, sitting in a tree. No, Carbone and Sal. All right, I wouldn't mind that. That'd be nice. I hope the branch is sturdy. Pimp name Slickback. I hope it's sturdy. Good to see you, Pimp. Welcome. Bill457 is here. By the way, Tracy is new to buying metals, and I listened to Pimpy and bought some Silver Eagles, and he didn't tell me that they had to be from the mint with the letters on them. Yes, thank you, Tracy. Yes, and I don't know Pimpy. I've never heard of him before, but I did see his video, and I felt it was a little bit. And I don't know. I don't want to judge his motive, but he did get some things wrong, and that's why I always encourage people to do your own due diligence. Don't even take anything I say as for a truth. Look everything up, but more than likely, I'm going to be one of the guys, and there's several of us in the community who tried to keep a balanced view on this type of thing. Because why? Well, I believe the metal silver and the metal gold, they sell themselves. And I believe in education, as well as putting my opinion in there. But yes, indeed. So, there's lessons to be learned with this stuff. And I'm going to talk a little about that in a video that's a long time coming, from a message that I have saved from way back when YouTube used to have private messages, PMs. That was all the rage back in the day. And that feature went away a while ago. So that's how far that goes back here. All right, thank you, All Is One Now. Help Sal survive the reset. There's a PayPal. Thank you, All Is One Now. You're great. Appreciate it. By the way, he's a 6-month member of the Salivation Nation there, of the honorary citizen there. Thank you so much. Or I think actually he might be a representative, which is great. All right. Okay. Let's get up here. Eat all your fish says, don't realize so many people misinterpreted that. Heard $67 silver, read a quick link from someone in the chat, Mark B, I think, and I knew they were actually talking of it. Apparently, it's not so simple for some. Do your research, people. That's right, exactly right. Well said, Fish. Well said. All right. MVL 9591. By coincidence, the coffee machine finished just as the video popped up. Well, that's what we like the way we do it. Tying coffee with a Salivate Metal video for you to enjoy while you slurp away. That's right, I said slurp away. Why don't we slurp away? It's time we gotta slurp away. Why don't we slurp away into the night? All right, very good. Anyways, I don't want to lose viewers now with my horrible singing. Press the number 74 if you remember that song. It's actually called Steal Away. Robbie something, forget who sung it anyways. The dude abides. Makes one think about continuing U.S. Mint subscriptions. Having patience going with the secondary market does have some rewards. Very true. And that's a patience I'm willing to practice at these prices for sure. All right. St. Stephen says, Libor Sofr issue. The U.S. Mint numismatic pricing buffet into gold, i.e. high margin bearish, are egregious misinterpretations. When a true reset is imminent, people will be disinclined to believe it. That's very true. That's exactly right. That's well said, St. Stephen. And that's another thing, too, for this here, is this pushing this. Is it really a reset? Is the a reset with one organization to another, how they deal with interest rates or whatever, when they say $80 trillion, it's that kind of thing. It's and with the numismatic pricing and everything like that. So yeah, you got to be very careful, because when it really does happen, people will be disinclined. It's like the boy cried wolf. Very well said, St. Stephen. All right. A coincidence of Black Monday, 87, October 19th. And now this Monday, October 9th, 2020. Probably not much there. I think that's coincidental, but it is the date because the IMF apparently met this weekend. And that's why she is making this connection with all this stuff would happen there. So, but the actual transition for the Libor to Sofr, I don't know if that's the way to pronounce the acronym, but anyway, Sofr, what have you, is going to be coming at the end of 2021 or in 2021. Chris Rogers, it comes from the dude's butt, as seen in your other video. There you go. Where does gold come from? That's right, the dude's butt. You got it. You got it, brother. Hello, Gabriel. Good to see you. MDH is here. Slavaki is here. Cyber Curtain Twitcher still amongst us, as late as it is there. He's awesome. Those who bully a coward says hello. Thank you, my friend. Good to see you. Of course, U.S. Mint can't reset silver, but the U.S. Treasury can. Look up Executive Order 1110. JFK wrote, would be nice to add some factual possibilities to their spread, real knowledge that's hidden. But I have to look that up to see. But keep in mind, JFK was president when silver was being used as money. Silver was in our coins back then. It's a different world now. And I imagine other executive orders have certainly muddied the waters for Executive Order 11110. Jeff Cohn, cannot buy high-priced silver or gold. Understandable. I will not buy high-priced silver or gold in that regard for this much. All right, let's take a look at what the markets are doing right now in Asia. And they are having a positive reaction, at least for gold slightly, but not much to speak about here. And as the hour draws to a close here, we're going to look at the charts for gold and silver just to see how lackadaisical they have been. That's a word you heard me use in a video about the silver up the butt. Anyways, all right. Native Stacker says he's not here, or is he? I'm going to select the former or the latter rather than the former. Electric Light Orchestra, Silver Heist. Electric Light Orchestra, I do remember them. Good to see Silver Heist, by the way. Check out Silver Heist. He posted some great videos recently and about how he spent $11,000 for gold, and then this happened. So check out Silver Heist channel. Check that video out. Silver Heist, great member of the community. Awesome indeed. We love Silver Heist here. All right. So let's get back here to these comments. Nosematic says both the U.S. Mint and the Royal Mint getting a little greedy now with the prices, as well as teaming up with grading companies. I smell greed all over it, in my opinion. Yeah, well, since the U.S. Mint is a governmental agency, and how they have what the reasonings for things like that, I imagine a lot of it is just, I don't know if it's greed is the answer, because apparently by law their profits have to go into the general revenue of the treasury. If they think they're going to make any dent into the deficit or anything at all with in that regard, well, they got another thing coming for sure. Jim Farrell, good to see you. Much yard work today. I did yard work yesterday. Who asked me if I washed my hands, by the way? Because I have an answer. I wasn't avoiding it. I just got sidetracked. Good to see Winning Image Photography is here. Silver Stealer was here earlier. Winning Image Photography and Silver Stealer, the power couple of the community. Yes, indeed. Very good. All right. Nice. Okay. Robert Preston says, okay, but for most of us who stack silver, we are usually only interested in buying the standard or basic Silver Eagle, usually called the BU, and commonly started out for major distributors and BU monster boxes. Then boils down to what price the distributors have to pay. So the distributor pays, for example. That's right. Well, yeah, no disagreements there. So until this becomes clear, well, it is clear. I cleared it up. This is not related to the, and I mentioned that in the video multiple times. It's referring to the numismatic market, not the BU market or the bullion market. So listen, to me, the Mint is saying that what we got to charge and is more than you want for an uncirculated coin in a felt box, and even more if you want a proof coin in a fancy box, and even more if you want a fancy Dan dressed up in a proof felt box with a letter of explanation. All right, I've got quite a few BU Silver Eagles for less than $14.50 cost per coin, and I ain't selling. There you go. All right, there you go. So there you go. Well, that's exactly right. You hold on, you hang on, you're doing the right thing, Robert. Very good. Gold Chick is here. Gold Chick Vibafell. There was a song called Mr. Big. That's right, Mr. Big. There was a band called Mr. Big, too. All right, Winning Image Photography. Silver Stealer is driving. We need pizza, pizza, pizza. All right, hello, too. Silver Stealer is driving to get some pizza. I'm going to make a guess. All right, you guys make a guess, too. What pizza are they getting? Are they getting Domino's, Papa John's? Is it a local Ciro's, or is it a local homemade, or what, you know what I mean? One of those independent outfits? We'll find out. Maybe they'll let us know. What pizza are they getting? And not only what pizza are they getting, but what are they getting on their pizza? Will there be bread? Will there be crust on the pizza? I'm going to make a guess and say yes, there will be crust. There will also be cheese on it, is my guess. Pizza sauce. Will there be pepperoni? Will there be sausage? Will there be ham? Could there possibly be pineapple? That's right. Salivation Nation is a COVID hotspot. Oh, man, we don't want to be a COVID hotspot. Fish, did I tell you we turned Lord Auric to the right side? It's true. He's been red-pilled. Nice. Awesome. I think he's joking around with you, but I would be nice if he did if he voted Trump. We will get Barbara Carbone to vote for Trump before it's all said and done. I know we can do it. All right, Tracy watched Lynette. She really knows her money. I think she studied it. She mentioned in that video that she's been studying currency and stuff like that. I'm not discounting her knowledge, but I think some of that knowledge could be used to trick people, too. Yeah, better not be crabs on that pizza. You know what, though, International Stacker? I would try crab meat on pizza. That would be interesting. All right, Winning Image Photography maybe will give us an update on what pizza they're getting it from where and what toppings they will have. I'm very curious. I'm very, very curious. Silver Eyes, here it goes. The Crustacean Nation. There they are, the crust. All right, very good. One bite. Everyone knows the rules. Okay, let's see here. Shiver Me Timbers, Jake. There you go, Mark B. Shiver Me Timbers, indeed. Chris T. Please do a big reset because us silver stackers have waited long enough. It's been long overdue to reap proper rewards. Yes. Well, the thing is, it may not happen. But if it does, then yes, maybe we'll say, okay, Art's Pizza Local Shop Pepperoni Extra Cheese. All right, very good. Very good, Winning Image Photography. Thank you so much. And we have it here from the one of the only. I can hear him saying it, International Stacker. The humanity. The humanity. Eat all your fish. Crab meat pizza is divine with some pineapples. Oh, I'd love to try that. I'm not a big pineapple fan, but I would try crab meat. I love crab meat, dude. I would love to get together with International Stacker and go to a crab dinner. That would be so awesome. Yes, indeed. Okay. The world spot price, here we go with the Asian markets. We're looking at them now. Silver is down slightly. The markets are not reacting to any kind of reset news, as we have discussed earlier. And we'll recap some of that again as part of this live stream, because that's what this is about. Are we at the beginning of a big reset? And even if it has happened, it may take a little while for the markets, for the precious metal markets to react to it. It may have to work its way through, and we'll see exactly what this means. I don't even know what they're talking about with swaps and the like, but anyways. All right, very, very good. Terry79 is still here. Itchy. State of man. I am in state of confusion. I am in International Stacker. Yes, shoot me an email. I kind of doubt I might just be off the beaten path from because I know you came to the federal city, the district. We've been there several times, and I'm far enough away. It's tough to me to get there in any short order to meet you. But nonetheless, but yeah. But you shoot me an email. I'll let you know. All right. Oh, let's see here. Okay, let's get back here. All right, where are we at? Someone you don't know says, I only buy old U.S. Mint collection stuff. I like the commemorative silver dollars and the Washington halves. I enjoy stack the less desired silver I can get for a decent price. Well, you're doing a wise thing. That's the best way to collect it, because a lot of that stuff is going for a pretty low premium price. All right. BB King, honest opinion on your part. How do you think this will affect PM stock markets? I don't know. I honestly don't know. And I want to make that clear. This big reset and how this is with Libor, what we've talked about here in this transition and what's going on with this big reset and this, they're tying it to this date for the 16th of October and the IMF meeting. I don't know what's going to happen. And Lynette Zhang doesn't know either. She confesses as such in her video. So, and it may be a while, but it could have profound effects. It could be a domino effect. It could be the beginning of the domino effect. All right. Silver Heist is in the capital city. I'm checking in from District 8. Well, Silver Heist, if you go to Johannesburg, there's a section of Johannesburg called District 9. And in there, you will find a bunch of prawns who have landed in 1982, I believe. And MNU has managed to segregate them, and now they're being moved to a place called District 10. All right, you got to watch the movie District 9 to get that. I don't know if Silver Heist has seen it or not, but I thought I'd throw that in there. Join button gives Salivate Metal Hitman my address. Oh man, all right, Hitman my address. That's interesting. All right, very good. Very good. Take care. 60 minutes time. Okay, Bill457, thank you so much for being here. You are awesome. Bill457, a faithful viewer here. He's a great guy. All right. Did you hear about ABUG? ABAUG. No. What does that stand for? Let's see. District 13 doesn't exist. Is that now? That might be. There's another thing with Mockingjay. The what do you call that series? The movies, The Hunger Games. They have districts there, 12 districts, and there's a District 13 that doesn't exist. District 9 and Chappie, both good movies. Yes, indeed. They sure were named Slickback. Both good movies. Very interesting. They had that one guy in there. Yes, that's right. Silver Heist. Okay, thinking more. That's right. District games, less district. All right. Swap lines. Swap line. That's something I'm not as read up on. If it's the swap lines. I think so. So that's kind of what this is about here. All right, let's get back to what the markets are doing. And so far, they've not really reacted a whole lot, one way or the other. Silver down very slightly, and gold up very slightly. So let's get back to the channel comments. Mark McIntosh says, I just got done working out after hearing your intro, and I want to work out again. All right, well, thank you, my friend. Had some other dude that said it was pathetic, but most of all, my intro for this year has been the best that I've done so far, according to your comments on it. So I'm probably going to keep this one. Stacking Stormtrooper is here. Good to see you. Shrimp Tail. There is shrimp is greater than crabs. By the way, Stacking Stormtrooper posted a video that I've not yet seen, but I want to check it out. He is shouting out some YouTube channels worth watching, and I trust his opinion, mainly because I paid him a lot of money to mention my name in it. No, I'm kidding. Stacking Stormtrooper, though, has really trooped into this community and done a wonderful job with his channel, and has really been really successful. And it's a great channel, great guy. Has his auctions on 8 o'clock on Wednesday nights, and has his heavy metal show, I think, every month or every couple of weeks there with Guido. All right, Barry, thank you so much, Second Stormtrooper. Good to see you. And Cybercurrent Twitcher says, do you put something in your live streams that always make me hungry? I have a piece of chocolate here, but there's a subliminal thing too. If you listen very faintly in the background, you'll hear a very low humming noise. Inside that low humming noise, which is called brown noise, I have inserted a subliminal message in there that tells you to buy the Cybercurrent Twitcher Silver Slide, eat cookies, and buy the Salivate Metal Silver Round. So I push my own product by using subliminal messaging. No, I'm kidding. You can't even buy the Salivate Metal Silver Round anywhere right now. I'm just kidding about that. Anyways. All right, Silver Britches says here, hey, Sal and Sal's gals, good to see you. He ignored all the gentlemen here, but that's okay. Who cares about them? It's all about the ladies here, right? All right. Did I hear about Z? Yes, I did. I heard about that just after Y. No. Here's the answer, Gold Chick Vibafel. I did hear about Z. Why? Do you ask? Get it? You know what I'm saying? Sorry. Blanket hello to my friends and Nosematics and the cheap Donald in New Mexico. Thank you, Stacking Stormtrooper. You are the man. Appreciate you, my friend. Yes, indeed. So check out Stacking Stormtrooper. If you've not subscribed to him already, please do so. A very good channel, and he's been posting some great videos for sure. Yes, indeed. Check him out. Sausage Fest in here. I know exactly. Gotta try it, Silver Britches. International Stacker. Have you seen my new Pirate Crab round? No. I need to see that. You know what? I missed some of your videos. I heard that you talked to a scammer or something like that, but I looked through some of your titles and I couldn't find it. Send me links to these. Can you email me and send me links to both those videos? Because I definitely want to check them out. I'm sorry I'm missing so much here. Ozzy read his last. A lot has happened here in the chat. Reposted Ozzy and put my name in there like you did, so and I'll check it out here. But yes, check out International Stacker too. Great guy. All right, DW says, I never purchased anything from the U.S. Mint due to their very high premiums. Buying online from the major metals outlets, I find a better price on bullion. That's right. Exactly. There you go, DW. There you go. Nosematics, thank you so much for the super chat. Donald fires back with a blanket of farts. There you go. Yes, indeed. $4.99. There you go. And we'll take that as you did Donald a favor. That's funny. Donald is even laughing on that. All right, International Stacker is on it, Uncle Sal. Thank you, man. International Stacker, very entertaining. You guys, when he does his live streams on location, wherever he is, he loves us, and he'll do great stuff. He'll shout us out. I know one time he went down the River Nile. I'll never forget this. And he mentioned my name to somebody trying to sell goods from a little boat underneath, and they would haul it up and everything like that. It was pretty cool. That was pretty awesome. All right, and I want to let everybody know that Alan Gold is here, but I'm going to ignore him. I'm going to ignore him and not let him know that I'm recognizing him. I'm saying this to the community, but I prevented Alan Gold from hearing me say that I'm not even acknowledging his presence here in the live stream. That's how I roll. You know what I'm saying? Nobody will see Donald in Mexico's comments because he's the epitome of cheap. There you go. That's funny, Stacking Stormtrooper. Cowboy Gold is here. Hello, Cowboy. Good to see you. Any news, press releases, statements from China, Russia, Iran, not swap line countries? That's a good question. And that'll be very interesting. The BRICS nations who don't participate in that will be, and that's probably why the Asian markets aren't reacting to this news or lack of news. By the way, there could be a lack of news on this. This may not be a big deal. And even Lynette Zhang has mentioned as such to be the case. For those of you just joining us here, we are looking at this claim about this big reset. $200 trillion to reset with $80 trillion this weekend by Lynette Zhang. But keep in mind, consider the source. I'm not questioning her knowledge about the currencies and markets, but I think she can use that knowledge to her advantage to confuse us or to draw improper conclusions for this.
because ITM Trading is a bullion company. They sell gold and silver. But again, I think companies like this and people like this that do have knowledge, I don't necessarily question their information, but I do at times question some of their conclusions, especially when they invoke the U.S. Mint, because I know that the U.S. Mint, as we see here, making this correlation, is not pricing they're repricing their silver numismatic products, not their bullion products. And by the way, many people don't realize this, but I covered this in a prior video months ago. The United States Mint did raise the price of silver eagles 30 cents per eagle to their APs. What are APs? Are the authorized purchasers, but they did that months ago. Now, it's barely noticeable. Why? Because the dealers out there have increased their premiums on silver eagles as well, which is why you're paying $7, $8, $9, $10, $11 per silver eagle. Because of the, there we go. All right, very good. All right, that's pretty funny, Cowboy Gold. I don't really hate silver. I just love bashing the hell out of it. There you go. Here we go. Well, I'm not. All right, Cowboy Gold. Now, I don't really bash silver, and I love silver, but I'm going to clap it. Here we go. Here, listen. So I'm not bashing silver, but I will clap it from time to time. All right, Second Soul Trooper, thank you for being here, my friend. Have a good evening, sir. Thanks so much for popping in. All right, very good. All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Have a good evening. Check out Stacking Stormtrooper on your way out. Good guy. Check him out. Good videos on his channel. All right, very good. All right, let's get back here. Let's pop into the market one more time. No activity because China's not a part of the swap lines. And again, to recap, there's been a claim about this big $80 trillion reset with interest rates and everything like that, with what's going on with Libor transferring over to this other agency, which was started back in 2017. Here's the thing. The Libor transition was talked about from the Financial Conduct Authority, which is the UK's top regulator. They oversee Libor, and this thing's been happening with the Secured Overnight Financing Rate, Sofr, which is going to be taking this over in 2021. But as I mentioned in the prior video that talked about is October 18th, 2018 doomsday for your wealth. This is kind of what it was referring to, that and what the International Monetary Fund has been doing as well. So we have to consider the source, digest the information, and make your own decisions based off of that. But the last thing you should do is make a purchase of precious metals based off of unsubstantiated information, or even if it's substantiated information, about the conclusions that you draw from that information. That's very important, folks. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this as a live stream, to kind of look at this and look at how the markets are reacting. Because even though, as was mentioned, and I forget who made that comment, but it was a very good one. I think it was Ozzy who said this, is that China, Russia, and the BRICS nations, they are not a part of these swap lines. So the Asian market, it would make sense that the Asian market would not necessarily react to that because they're not involved. However, that does not mean that the Asian markets would not necessarily react to it, because they can see what's happening with these swap lines and the revaluation with $80 trillion and what the havoc that could potentially cause, and they would make a move. So my guess, it's not going to be that big of news. They would know something there, I think, before these prices go up. So I think this is essentially, I'm not going to say it's a nothing burger, because I think there's something to this. Because again, I respect the information. It's just the conclusions that I don't necessarily agree with. All right, hashtag Sal sucks. All right, now I'm noticing. All right, Alan Gold has insulted me. I've got to respond to that insult. I've got to find the correct, I've got to be a man about this. I don't know what I'm going to do. Alan Gold thinks I suck. Oh, wait. All right, I've just been revived out of that because Cowboy Gold has spoken to my heart. Oh, my goodness gracious. Oh, what I would give for some deer meatloaf. Oh, my goodness, it was delicious. Now that, he is talking what I'm talking about. Oh, man. I would be a cheap date for some. Cowboy Gold needs to invite me over for some deer meatloaf, but I'm essentially inviting myself. Oh, I would love to have deer meatloaf. That sounds awesome, man. All right, California Stacker says, "Hey Sal, will the shutdown in UK and Europe affect the PM market? Potentially, although those I'm not sure exactly what is going on with this. I assume you're talking about COVID with things getting shut down and stuff there. If their economies and it has an effect on the pound and the euro, I think that's going to have an effect on markets. Look at what Brexit did. For quite a while, Brexit did affect the markets. And so I think for sure that could be, I think it could have some effect on the market, on the precious metal prices. But so far, there's not been a whole lot here. And keep in mind, COVID-related stuff has been affecting the markets. It's kind of a continuation. We're not really surprised when we see these shutdowns these days happen, or these rise and spikes in COVID cases. This is kind of the new normal, sadly. And I hate to say that because it's a very concerning and serious thing. But in terms of the market view of this stuff, it's kind of a new normal here. Fish says, venison anything, best meat on the planet I've ever had tried. Yes, indeed. All right, if I give Alan Gold a wrench, he'll never go away. That's right. That's right. Actually, one thing, Alan Gold, I don't know if his videos are still up, but believe it or not, he has inspired me with platinum. All right, very good. Ooh, a deer steak and deer meatloaf. Now, those are two great things. Man, sounds good. I haven't had deer meat in a while. I do love deer jerky. That's some good stuff. Actually, I've got some bear jerky. I do have bear jerky in the refrigerator, and it's pretty good. It's actually more tender than I thought. But anyways, okay. Mature Vader says, yes, I received my profit back today. Okay, all right, this is I hate these things, and I hate that they get through. Mature Vader, you idiot. I'm going to get rid of you in half a heartbeat. Man Guy Dude says, we must not run in deficit and burden the taxpayer. Said no government agency ever. That's exactly right. Yes, that sums it up. All right. Barack Cohen says, what a crappy opening and annoying voice. Sounds so unintelligent. Well, Barack Cohen, hope you come back to this live stream for me to respond intelligently with this. And here's my middle finger. You can't see it, but it's going up to you, Barack Cohen. Let's see if we can leave a little message for Barack. Barack, here is my response. There we go. Okay, there we go. Thank you, Barack. All right. All right, Calvin Cooper. Good afternoon, Sal. Thank you, Calvin. Good afternoon to you. Goldchick. If it's not 100 years old, then it's not Numi, in my opinion. Sorry. Yeah, well, and that's just it. Numismatic, really, I did a video called Numismatic. Everything is numismatic. In the broadest definition of the word, pretty much everything is numismatic. But some people do have different definitions of what's collectible or not, or what's considered respectable collectible coins, like pre-33 gold, older silver coins, stuff that is not in circulation anymore, but was in circulation. A lot of people think the modern stuff is not really. They don't look at that as collectible or as respectable collectible coins. And I can understand there's purists in that regard. So, Native Stacker, I just made venison stew a week ago. My brother's still talking about it. Wow, it sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah, don't hold back. That's right, Barbara Carbone. I let him have it, didn't I? With a bunch of gobbledygook or gobbledygook. I don't know which one it is. Is it gobbledygook or gobbledygook? One of those two. Keep tasking. There you go. All right. So thank you, Gold Chick. All right. Mr. Sting says, I called APMEX if they could at least update their list of release dates for the 2-ounce Queen's Beast silver coins. I told the rep that even Wiki had them out of order, and I was getting confused with what coins were released when. I don't think I got them right in this video either. So very good. So yeah, where do they get the coins and how often they get them in? They may be on a different schedule than other bullion dealers out there. Chris Richard, It's a real crappy situation. Indeed it is, Chris. Well stated, indeed. Justin Sartain says, proof coins are hot right now. Why are they doing this? Why they're doing this makes sense. So many in the country are out of work and others are still working and being overworked and risking their lives. I believe the price increase is valid and a sign of things to come. Everything is getting more expensive. Just picked up another 1996 proof set for $57. Well, you know what? I got a proof set, just a regular proof set, for under, believe it or not, I got this thing for under face value. I kid you not. I got a proof set for under face value. Some of these silver proof sets from past years have gone for pennies for spot price. It's crazy. All right. Nice. Let's see here. Very good. Okay, moving on up. Brian K says, I just bought 4 ounces of ASC this month and will continue until I finish out this tube. Every ounce is brought as an FU to the Fed. There you go. And that's kind of the way to look at it. It really is. It's money that they can't devalue. And even when the price moves one way or the other, that's the market reacting to them as commodities in a sense. And but in the general overall scheme of things, especially gold, is a very, very stable, I think, hedge against economic instability and a protector of wealth. I believe silver is too, but it just takes longer, and you have to be more patient, I believe, with silver in that regards too. But anyways, all right. Mark B, thank you, Mark B. Good to see you guys. All right, moving on up here. Mr. Sting says, the lion, the white greyhound, the white horse, it gets confusing. I guess all right to be white in the coin world. There you go, exactly right. I was going to make a racial joke about that, but I didn't do it. All right. Moving on up. So those of you just joining us here, we were talking about this reset, this article, this blog posting and video from ITM Trading, some of this could be true. Some of this could actually happen and could have happened over the weekend. They're drawing a conclusion that it possibly could have. What effect it'll have on the market is another matter. And even the author here doesn't necessarily make that claim or doesn't know, and even confesses as such. But there's $200 trillion reset of major bank contracts within the next year. And then this $80 trillion by Monday. And this is being called the Big Bang across the media. More importantly, all the telling names behind it. Now, these agencies, CME, ICE, Libor, all these are tied to all the big banks, as pointed out in this graph right down here. We can see CME, ICE, and LCH tied to all these organizations, these banks, Deutsche, Citigroup, HSBC, all the big, Morgan Stanley, they're all banks, hedge funds, insurance, and pensions, and it's all interconnected. But because of that interconnectivity, there's a lot of complexity in these types of things with these sovereign wealth funds. There's a lot of different aspects and moving parts in this. And I think that is something that's got to be really considered when you take into account all this. And so when you make a tie to the mint, considering how complex those markets are, and then you bring the mint into it, when the mint has nothing to do with those agencies, it's a complete wholly and separate thing. They buy their blanks on demand, no matter what the spot price is. And they price their numismatic products based off of their bottom line, whether we agree with it or not. And I'm one of those that doesn't agree with these increases in prices. But anyways. All right, very good. So let's get back here. So that's kind of what this is about here. Mr. Sting says, after Queen Elizabeth dies, I wonder if the people have enough sentiment to keep the royals the way they are tearing down statues too. Yeah, I wonder that too. How long will the monarchy last after the Queen goes? And it does make you wonder, Mr. Sting. Silver Steeler says, I get it, Sal, I do. But as a collector and a stacker, I have a price line. They crossed it. I can easily, but most of their products 2 years down the road, at half the prices or less. I have no choice now. That's right. And I'm with this, Silver Steeler. I'm right there with you on this. I'm going to be buying much less from the mint from now on. All right. Oh, Barbara Carbone forgot to listen to me. The only way I can get her attention, I think, right now is this. There we go. And that was also for Jeremy S., who I forgot to slurp for in a prior live stream. I did remember that. I'm sorry. And Jeremy S., who is here. Welcome, Jeremy Jeremy S. Good to see you. All right. Yeah, I'm kind of background noise to you guys in the chat, I know. Hard Sal. There you go. Hard Sal. There you go. That's right. Talkman. All right. Very good. The Blake. How about no? The U.S. Mint has no significant influence in the P markets, and they never will. That's right. Exactly right, the Blake. Anybody that tells you otherwise is not being honest. Clutch and shift. Good topic. Thank you. Thank you so much for the echo on that. Clutch and shift. Appreciate it. Erwin Macias. I am a proud citizen of the nation of the Salivate, and I approve of this message. Well, thank you so much, my friend. Appreciate you all. Well, thank you, Jeremy S. You rock too, my friend. I appreciate you. That's right. Cowboy Gold. The queen is never going to die. They're going to keep her alive on embalming fluid. That's right. She'll be the zombie queen, like the Zombucks. That's right. You never know. Very good. All right. Justin Sartain says, oh, my God, the funniest comments on this video I've ever been laughing so hard. That's right. I want to say, I did some puns. Some people didn't get them. I tried lackadaisical going to LAX. I did try to do something a little bit unique, a little different there. I left the majority of the puns for you guys. Kalanic Stacker, on behalf of the Soft Kitties 1 and 2, I declare a hedge of protection from the Lord upon the first family. Me too. And you know what? Kalanic Stacker, I even say I prayed for the Obamas too when they're in the White House. So we should pray for our leaders, for them to be safe, no matter who they are. I want them to be safe, and I pray for Joe Biden for him to be safe as well too. All right. Urbash, I heard of Lynette Zhang from Pimpy's investment channel. He frequently talks about revaluation of the Iraqi dinar and Vietnamese dong. What are your thoughts? I don't know much about that. There very well could be. Apparently, Lynette Zhang is a guru with currencies, and be interesting to see how they're doing that. I know they revalued the dollars from Zimbabwe in 2008 into 2009. November 2008, you had the $100 trillion note, and in January of 2009, you had the new Zimbabwean dollar. That could be happening with the dinar and the Vietnamese dong, but I'm not as familiar with those currencies and how that's going there. But yes, indeed. All right, and the final glorious act, Sal is blocked. No, I forbid you to block me, Alan Gold. Do not block me. I forbid it. I forbid it. All right? Son of a motherless goat. Where are we at? Okay. Marcus Rourke says, bit of history. The first American Eagle was sold for $15 when silver was just over $5. Talk about premiums. That's true. That's a good point. Very true. Now, was that the bullion coin? Or the collector? I guess it was the bullion coins, right? I don't know. Very interesting. I have to look into that. Thank you, Marcus Rourke. I'm worthy. Look into that. All right. Okay, let's get back here. Let's see what the markets are doing in Asia, because the hour has passed now to check these. What we do in these market watch videos is we take a look at the charts after the first hour to see what they look like, what they've been doing. And as you can see here, gold has really been above water. It's been in the positive territory, but just barely, and not a marketable difference here in its performance in that first hour here. Certainly considering the news and what the speculation is about this big bang reset of $80 trillion in derivatives, it's not really had much effect there for gold. Silver, on the other hand, has taken a slight dip, and is basically leveled back out at zero, some gain out of the starting gate, and it's on its third way back up there to the zero level, and is not really, for all intents and purposes, and not been in positive territory here for silver. So that's gold and silver there. There it is. All right, and there's where the markets are right now. No movement. Let's get back up to the comments. Michael Williamson says, what's next? Having NGCE certification experts in the house at the U.S. Mint? This is none of their concern. They should make the coins at cost and let the market determine what the value is. Well, I'm not a big fan, never have been a big fan of modern coin grading. I think I even posted a video how I basically call it a scam because it's just, modern coins are made to such exacting specifications or lack thereof in some cases, especially with silver eagles. Really, silver eagles, honestly, and to some extent gold eagles as well. Their quality is yet to be desired compared to the Royal Canadian Mint, especially the Perth Mint, and even to some degree the Royal Mint. They lack in quality. But by and large, I think modern coin grading really serves no purpose for those kind of coins, especially for bullion coins. And I think there ought to be another grading scale for modern bullion or modern coinage. Hi, have a good night, Silver Ice. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. You're awesome. Thank you very much. And Cybercurtain Twitcher is hanging on here. Appreciate it. A little too easily. No movement, a little too easily. Yes, indeed. Yeah, me too, man. Yeah, I agree. Yes, indeed. All right. Fish. I think platinum could go to rhodium price someday. Thoughts? I think it definitely has the potential to go up above gold again. But I don't think it'll get to rhodium's parabolic increases that we've seen with rhodium. Where is rhodium? I haven't even looked at it. I've got an ounce of it. 12,800. So it's down a little bit, believe it or not. But there's no movement at all here in the rhodium markets. Uberman, now if only the mint could be more creative in their designs, as with the prices. Yes, indeed. In their designs, as with the prices. Good one, Uberman. I agree with that. Why does coffee have to be brown, says Gary Cooper. All right, winning image photography, a pizza update. Did you guys get the pizza? Are you driving back with the pizza now? I hope so. All right, very good. All right, take care, Matt Langstrat. Thank you so much for being here, Matt. Definitely appreciate you, sir. Have a good evening. Thanks for stopping in. My audience is dwindling away now. All right, Billy Billington says, looks like I'm the only one that hates your intro. Well, there's been a few others. There was somebody earlier that put a really rude comment on it. But believe it or not, this intro this year, even with the few even more recently that have said they hated it, it has received the most praise of all the intros I've done before. So it's probably going to be a keeper. It takes a while to put those things together anyway. Eat all your fish, not down at your price you paid. Love that bar. Very nice, my friend. That's right. Exactly. That's true. The price I paid was $1,100. Thanks, Jeremy S. Yes, I think you might like some of them. So I appreciate you checking out the videos. Silly Boo says, Salivate, you sure want to explore those nuggets? Yes, indeed. You know what? Even though they've been up somebody's butt, if somebody offered me those 4 nuggets there, I would take them. All right. All right, I don't know what this is. I'm going to just delete this. I don't know what that is. I don't know. I might look at that later. But anyways, makes ours worth more. We are heading into a fiat money reset gold standard. All right, very good. If they want to raise something, how about raising their game? There you go. It's all Irish. I think they need to. I think it's time to change the. If they're going to charge $100 for a silver proof set, they need to change these little plastic things. These I hate these plastic. I don't know what you call these things. The plastic things that they put the coins in. They've been using those since the 80s. And horrible, horrible. All right. Yes, didn't know about rhodium back then. Barbara scares me. Just too loud. I love the fast forward. Pass it since I wear earbuds. No worries. All right, Sal would sell them on a brown gold market. There you go. RJ Rand, FYI, prices are going to raise on everything in the near future. Get prepared for SHTF heavy. Good luck to us all. Audrey, hopefully I make it to your live today. I've been missing it. I miss you. We'll miss you too, Audrey. You did pop in. I think you had to go. Sorry I missed talking to you a whole lot, but always appreciate you being here. All right, very good. Yes, I was sad when there was no bullion ASCs for sale at APMEX for $67 on October the 13th. Me too. I ain't scared of nothing. Barbara's not scared of me. Are you still alive? The silver shooting up. Bob S. Yes, no, silver is not shooting up. In fact, it's down 3 cents. It was flat earlier, but now it's down 3 cents. Gold is up $1.30. And that coffee I just slurped is going down my gullet. And Vogus says, thankfully nothing is happening today, October the 18th. That's right, October the 18th, doomsday fear of wealth. That's right. So far, it's not happened. So we shall see, and that's just it. And this is all tied together. That has to do with the IMF. And the IMF did meet this weekend. And I think is about some of these things. I do think there's stuff going on, but it may not mean that our wealth is being doomed. Cybercurrent Twitcher, time to head out. Have a great night. Thank you so much, Cybercurrent Twitcher. Appreciate you being here. Have a good night, my friend. Sleep well tonight. Older man, I wish someone would drop a full log of AGEs on my lawn. Now, that would be nice. I'd welcome that. Even if it put a dent in my yard, I'd be okay with that. I'll probably get it repaired with selling one of those things and getting... All right, very good. Colonic Stacker, God willing, on November 3rd, after POTUS scores a resounding victory, I'm going to wake all my neighbors by blaring Iced Earth's Declaration Day. Me too. Love that song. Great song from a Glorious Burden. And we have a silver pumper on our hands, folks. That's right. Cowboy Gold has turned into a Class A silver pumper. Silver is so undervalued it should be $50,000 per ounce. Man, I always knew Cowboy Gold had a silver pumping in his. He's got silver pumping in his blood. That's right. He's gonna pull out some highfalutin silver and sing us a silver pumping song. He will do it. All right. Let's see here. Very good. Okay. Oh, Barbara Carbone smells something too, Terry, but it's not me. I did not toot. All right. I did not toot. Glorious Burn, great album. IMF equals Impossible Mission Force. There you go. Exactly right. No Name says, pay to Caesar what is Caesar's, or limp through the airport. There you go. Exactly right, No Name. Very good. Long time no see, by the way, No Name. All right, very good. Let's see. All right, Coins A to Z says, far too many people don't understand the concept of product pricing. Product pricing does necessarily includes manufacturing, promotional, and a bevy of other costs. Every successful company needs necessarily figures, adds these costs into pricing their products. Why on earth should the U.S. Mint be excluded and shamed from figuring these costs into pricing of collective products? They have to remain competitive in the market space, but with collective products, it's completely unreasonable for people to believe that the pricing should reflect bullion pricing. Well, I agree, Coins A to Z, for sure. Like, for instance, I think the Silver Eagle price increase is probably, the Proof Silver Eagle is probably in line with other mints around the world. But the Silver Proof sets, their packaging is cheap for the price they're going to be charging for these. These little lenses, that's what they're called, these little plastic lenses, are horribly cheap, and they're mass produced. They're pennies on the dollar. It's really not a good way. If you want to get a premium silver proof set, look at the Royal Canadian Mint. Look at the quality of the packaging they have. It's worth almost every penny. It's still pretty pricey, but they did price them twice this year, and some of them make sense, but most of them don't. I think they overprice some of that stuff. So I disagree with you on most of it, but others of it I do. But anyways, all right. One Welshman says, shop around for your silver and don't pay overpriced silver premiums. I think that the hike price is to detract from a short and a long-term price in the stock market combined. They don't have a way to really know that. I don't think that's why they're doing it. Because they're not speculators. The United States Mint doesn't need it. There's no motivation for them to speculate. For them to do that. I just don't. And that's why I'm trying to warn people against. That's why I made that video. SF Loter, like high-end houses and cars, find your product at your price and ignore the price gouging, especially in the secondary market. That's right. All right, where are we at? MM126. I thought JPM decided the price by pitching little people at a dartboard. Yeah, they very well could be. JP Morgan. Okay. All right. Vogus says, amazing experiment. I will be here for part 3, Vogus. All right, very good. All right, thank you. Can I destroy the Silver Eagle? All right. Bob S., the reason Trump is never prosecuting Biden, Clinton, Obama is because they have dirt on him too. No way. They've already slung all the dirt they have on him. And all that dirt's been made up. Believe you me, they would not wait to sling dirt and to expose dirt on him, Bob S. They have done everything they can. That's not the reason. I can guarantee you that's not the reason. William Brookenroad. Sal, the premium dollar on the 1 ounce silver coin auction sales I've conducted since 2017 by a 10-day auction only have doubled the value of my cherry-picked silver purchasing occasionally with any profit since 2015, plus gold fractions I keep, but are almost unattainable now. Interesting. What silver auction sales, what coins? William, I'm very curious what coins have doubled, have gone up in the collector market. Let's see what we have here. And we're going to wind down the super chat here. Rebel Lucy says the mint just makes the coins. The bullion banks, in coordination with the central banks, fix the price of gold and silver in order to keep the faith in the fiat garbage. Every once in a while, they allow it to rise slightly. All right, thanks, Rebel Lucy. Fiat Destroyer, they seem to be out of touch with the U.S. coin collectors. And he's out of those at Evil. $67 for Silver Eagle, setting the record straight video. Thank you. And Manuel Campbell, we're talking about that right now. So thank you so much. Indeed. Reset announcement. Very good. All right. That's what this video is about. Reset. What's going on there. It's all tied into the IMF. And what's happening with this $80 trillion. Here is this. To close this up here. Maximum loss limit. As part of the participation agreement, CME will set the maximum loss limit as defined by the participation agreement in terms of basis points on gross discounting risk, which specifies a maximum possible loss the individual person account may incur as a result of participating in the auction. This loss in dollar terms is the greatest acceptable difference in value between the MPV of all re-hedging basis swaps as of the close of business on Friday, October 20th. In other words, zero MPV in the auction clearing price determined by the auction process on the morning of Monday, October the 19th, 2020, which is already Monday in Asia, and they're not showing any much movement in the precious metal prices anyway. And maybe they made this so slick and so smooth that we may not notice it. And I think that's part of what she is saying there, is that why they can't predict what's going to happen with gold or silver, really anything with this, because they're going to be buying and transferring these swaps out to save people from any kind of risk. CME's maximum loss limit mechanism is designed to protect customers from liquidating the basis swaps under adverse market conditions. So this could all protect all the accounts and all the money in this transition, in this reset. The maximum loss limit is determined by CME in its sole and absolute discretion based on prevailing liquidity in the EFFR SOFR basis swap market. The maximum loss limit represents a limit to the auction clearing price and shall be applied equally across all participants. So that's going to minimize the shock of the reset, which means that this may not have much effect. But more than likely, they do this again in these increments for the whole $200 trillion. There may be in the wake of this a revaluing of something. Maybe not. Maybe they'll make this to happen so that it provides some confidence, and then precious metal prices may actually go down. And that's something we have to keep in mind too, folks, is this thing may be orchestrated and so well thought out that precious metal prices may actually drop, and we maybe see a very much faith and resurgence in some of these currencies around the world because of this. where the auction bid received by the CME would result in an auction clearing price where the cost of liquidation of participant basis swaps for participants would exceed the maximum loss limit as determined by CME in its absolute and sole discretion. CME will not execute the Sofr basis swap auction and will take no further action. So there's a stopgap on this, folks. This means that really we should not be too alarmed over this as far as having an effect on the markets. Even though it may be occurring, they have these checks in place. They've thought this out so as to not shock the system. That's how I'm reading that anyways. Even though she's underlying stuff on there about how the CME and sole and absolute discretion is going to be making decisions on things, and that could create a shock. So anyway, so there that is. So just a little FYI, and this video is provided essentially as a way to give context to some of this and to not panic buy. You should never panic buy gold and silver based off of any claim, even however well the information are put together. Even if it's accurate information, the conclusion drawn from which accurate information to where these dots are connected may be, slighted to the favor, to the agenda of that which is of the author providing that opinion. It's an opinion. Nobody knows. Nobody really knows. You know what they say about opinions? Well, people have assumptions, and you know what they say about assumptions. Because you make somebody who smuggles gold up their butt out of you and me. Ash, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I would actually encourage you not necessarily to trust me, but know that I'm going to try to provide a balanced approach to these things. And I also want to be open-minded in the event that something big does happen, because I believe that certainly there could be a case and something could happen very quickly. And it can be like a house of cards where one little thing moves very quickly, and it's FU for Frank Underwood in the House of Cards. All of a sudden becomes president, and then you never know. Things can happen very, very quickly. This has been one of those years. It's insane. I'm here to earn your trust, Terry79's trust. Can I earn it? I don't know, but hey, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much again, Urbash, and I thank you all for being here, guys. This has been a wonderful evening. I appreciate you being here. We took a look at the markets here. On your way out, if you don't mind pressing that thumbs up button, I certainly do appreciate that. You guys are great and wonderful. I want to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all and leave you with this sage piece of advice. You can trust me on this here. And that is to keep your feet on the stars and keep reaching for the ground. Take care, all. See ya.